That seems like a pretty disjointed reading, doesn't it, from Luke? I think what he's done there, he's taken sayings of Jesus that have appeared in different places in Matthew's gospel and brought them all together, and there's always a link word. Each little section is linked to the other. He talks about a door, and then he talks about knocking on the door, things like that. But we can make sense out of it because it's a very important passage. Notice the first line tells you where it's happening, on the way to Jerusalem. And we all know what that means, but that sets the scene. You know, the people of Israel, they're not like us now, but the people of Israel, they had the insiders and the outsiders. We're not like that, are we? No, we're not like that. We accept everybody. But you were either in or out with them. And in meant a member of the family, the tribe, member of the Jewish people. You were in. Now you could draw close to that group, but you could never really break through the barrier and become one of them. That's why the question is, because they thought they were the ones who were God's favorites, so will only a few be saved? Just us, in other words? And that's where Jesus, and his answer, it doesn't answer the question directly, but it tells him, the person who asked this, the most important thing. That this gift of God, which you can call salvation, redemption, forgiveness of sins, entrance into the kingdom of glory, kingdom of God, which Jesus has established in his own person, all of this is a gift. It isn't something you earn or work for or get to on your own effort. It's a gift. What's problematic is the way we accept the gift. Now, we all want it, obviously. But we can accept things in a rather casual way, not just us, but all people. And so Jesus says, if you really want to accept my Father's gift, you've got to work at acceptance. Not work to get the gift, but work at accepting the gift. If you want to go to San Antonio, how would you go? I-10? Bad move. You know what I-10 looks like when there's a holdup, right? When there's a traffic accident, you could be there for hours getting to. Brother Michael and I went fleeing a hurricane. We went, and then we got off I-10 and got on 90 and went like this. But we got to San Antonio, and we got our plane on time, etc. Jesus is saying it's very, very difficult to keep walking in the way of the kingdom, to keep accepting the gift of God day by day in and day out. You really have to work at that. That's what he calls the narrow road, which leads to the narrow gate. There's no question the gift is offered. It's the acceptance that's problematic. And that's what he's talking about here. Now, in the mind of the people of his time, you were either in or out. But there was a way that you could become in. And it wasn't shared with everybody, but if you were accepted at the table, then you were in. Even though you were a Gentile, you could be accepted into the Jewish milieu. But it was very difficult to be invited to a table. That's one of the criticisms of Jesus, that he sat down to eat with them, the sinners, the publicans, tax collectors, prostitutes. We sit down at the table every Sunday morning. And the implication of our accepting this gift of God and sitting down at the table is that we accept everybody. But do we? On a national level, are we open to everybody? On a personal level, am I open to everybody? These are questions which Jesus poses to us in today's reading. The first reading was from the Hebrew Scriptures, and that was all about God's openness to everybody. All those people from lands we never heard of, they're all going to be accepted. They're all accepted. The gift is offered to them as well as to the Jewish people. And what the reading says to us, it's God's gift is offered to all people, not just Christians, not just Catholics. When you sing the creed in a few moments, you'll notice that we talk about the Catholic Church, but we're not talking about it with the capital C, the church in Rome, or with the Pope at its head. We're talking about the word Catholic meaning open to everybody. It's always written with a small c for that purpose. So Jesus is challenging us. Okay, you have accepted my kingdom. You've accepted the gift of citizenship in the kingdom. Are you walking the narrow road day by day, which that acceptance implies? I find these readings very uncomfortable because I'm not as open to them as I should be. I don't think our country is as open to them as we should be. But I can't do too much about the country, I guess, besides voting. But I can change myself. And change begins here and here before it goes into action. Until we begin to see others, not as others, but as us, we'll never be able to walk in the narrow road of the kingdom. We'll have that wide I-10, and we'll get stuck on it.